Hi everyone, my name is Abby, and today my partner Brooke and I are going to be talking about how fad diets such as the Atkins diet coincides with our everyday physical activity. As most of us already know, we need at least 150 minutes of physical activity per week to stay healthy. Now, by getting our recommended amount of exercise weekly, this allows our bodies to perform correctly on a daily basis. This means that we are helping our body to prevent diseases, regulating bodily functions such as blood pressure, and ensuring that our cardiac system is working properly and pumping enough blood and oxygen through our body. So with this being said, I want to focus this more on fad diets, specifically the Atkins diet, and how this affects our physical activity. So the Atkins diet is a low carbohydrate fad diet. This means that someone is extremely limiting their carb intake per day for an extended period of time. Now, for example, this is going to include things such as your breads, your pastas, your grains, and even some fruits and vegetables. Now, during the Atkins diet, you're going to be consuming a lot more fats and proteins. And yes, this diet is proven to work, but that's only because we tend to overeat when it comes to carbohydrates. And with cutting out these carbohydrates, we're cutting out a large amount of calories, and that's causing us to lose weight. Now, you're probably wondering, how does this go with physical activity in our everyday lives? Well, that's the most important part of this whole thing and our biggest problem. Carbohydrates are one of the most important nutrients that we put in our body to perform efficiently throughout the day. If someone is correctly following the Atkins diet, they're not going to be getting enough nutrients like they should. Carbohydrates provide the necessary amount of energy that our bodies need to fuel workouts.
Although carbs are the main source of fuel for the body, fat can also be incredibly helpful if it is consumed in moderation. Half of this energy comes from the oxygen breakdown of glycogen. The other half of the energy comes from the circulating blood sugar and fatty acids. It is recommended to consume 20 to 30% of calories as fat. This percentage of fats should be filled with good fats, those such as fish and avocados. Fats such as trans fatty acids should be avoided altogether, as they can make you feel sluggish and as if you have no energy. Not to mention that these are really bad for your heart health. People on the Atkins diet consume 50% of their daily calorie intake as fat. This can lead to feeling incredibly sluggish during a high-intensity exercise. This also can lead to underlying health factors, as they are more than likely consuming trans fatty acids rather than the good fatty acids. Being on the Atkins diet means you're also going to be consuming a large amount of proteins. Although protein is important for anabolic processes, it is also important to not overconsume protein. This overconsumption can cause dehydration, loss of urinary calcium, and can also cause increased stress on the livers and kidneys. Increased consumption of protein may also increase the risk of fatal heart disease. Those with a high protein intake have a 33% increased chance of developing heart failure, where the organ is unable to pump sufficient blood and oxygen around the body. This increase in heart disease is likely to be coupled with an increased consumption of trans fatty acids. People choose this diet because they are promised weight loss while they can eat all of the fatty foods that they enjoy, just as long as they aren't consuming carbs. The truth behind this is that the weight loss from this diet comes from a loss in water weight. Carbohydrates are one of the most important nutrients needed in an athlete's diet. Carbs are vital to help reach peak performance during physical activity, as they are the main source of energy for our brains and bodies to function properly. When carbs are eaten, they are eventually broken down into glucose. Glucose gets stored in the liver and muscles to be used for fuel, especially during physical activity. Carbohydrates improve athletic performance by delaying fatigue and allowing an athlete to compete at a higher level for longer. When carbs aren't sufficient, the body uses other means for energy, which in turn decline performance and minimizes muscle gain. Eating carbs is important, and a diet low in carbs will decrease muscle potential and worsen athletic performance. Carbs are the main source of fuel for your body. The Atkins diet is where you are limiting your carbs to a dangerously low amount daily. Pursuing this also means that you'll be consuming around 50% of your daily calories as fats, and another large portion will be proteins. An overconsumption of either of these can cause harmful effects to your body. One harmful effect may even include heart disease. If you wish to have decreased performance, decreased muscle mass, and the possibility of developing harmful and serious health issues, then this diet is for you. The healthiest and most effective way to lose weight is with a good diet and plenty of exercise. Although during this quarantine you might find yourself going to the fridge around 20 times a day.
1 hour later. 1 hour later. A few minutes later.
All jokes aside, it is very important to take care of your body. Stay safe and thank you for watching.